Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Degrade 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today I wanted to talk about something very important. And it relates to the news story we talked about yesterday, where the 19-year-old young man from Georgia was hazed. And as we talked about, he was allegedly fed alcohol even while out of it, and was videotaped while his so-called friends sprayed him with a hose, spray painted him, did restroom sick and unthinkable movements on him. They wrote on him, and anything else you can think of. Then when he was unresponsive, they finally took him to the hospital and left him there before the police could show up. And today is a follow-up to that video from yesterday, and how it relates to the everyday narcissist in your life or that you might meet, all the way up to societal narcissism. Well, this young man or teen's father was interviewed and spoke up. He said this isn't the first time that his son went over to spend time with these so-called friends. He said that his son went with these people because he felt they cared for him, liked him, and his son didn't want to be isolated. You see, as we've talked about, narcissists can and will pick anyone. However, the food of choice for a narcissist is going to be someone that is vulnerable in one way or another. And here's the thing. I don't know what his son's situation is with his father. I don't know. However, the father seemed to. And I stress seemed to. Because I don't know. But he seemed to care. It just appeared that his son might have been on the awkward side and just wanted to have friends. Because sadly in this world that we live in nowadays, this awkwardness and loneliness is a growing trend. Because narcissism is growing. And people are put in these metaphoric boxes, where it's getting to be even more difficult to meet people when you are young, and grow up together, and learn with your parents' guidance who is really your friend and who isn't. So even if you have a supportive parent or parents, as children grow older, they have a strong and normal desire to become social. And those that run the show and make this societal narcissism go round and round know this fact. They know people will become desperate for simple love and friendship, to where they will let others spit on them. And they will be right back the next day hoping it won't happen again and they can get to just being friends. You see, if I were a betting cartoon man, and I'm not, but if I were, I would bet these other young men or teens pretended to be this young guy's friend on purpose, knowing they were going to lure him in for this kind of treatment. I can hear the cackling and laugh of these young teens as they talk on the phone with one another, about how this young guy that thinks they are friends is going to show up to the party tonight, and how they are going to do this, that and the other to him. And they say, dude, it's going to be epic, man. You see, narcissists plan this stuff out and they know exactly what they are doing to you is wrong. And it's the entire reason why they were nice to you in the first place. Because they have to show you something that you've always wanted. Then they take it away, making you think that if you just jump through these hoops, you will finally belong and be one of the crew. No. It never works out like that. Just like the narcissist that you were dating, that threw your belongings all around your apartment on month 6 of knowing them. Or they threw a drink at you while out at dinner, for little to no reason at all. But then they later cry. And they say they don't know why they do what they do. And they love you and they want to make it work. They know, if they get you to stay with them, this is the equivalent of them pooping down your back. And you saying, "Please poop on my back again." Narcissists 9 times out of 10. When they let their mask slip. Part of them letting their mask slip greatly has to do with them degrading you. Why? Because they are sadistic. It literally brings a smile to their face. Or even on their inside if they aren't showing it on the outside. When they can degrade someone down to their lowest point. And because many of them know they can't do exactly what these teens did, they will try to do it in an even more slick, harder to detect way. So you might give them the benefit of the doubt. If they act in such a way, and they later try to get you back, just politely tell them you need your space and can't talk with them right now. Document everything. And then when the time is right, exit. Say you've been thinking about things. And you don't think this relationship is for you. Wish them well. Don't explain yourself. Even if they press. Just say. There really isn't anything to say. I hope the best for you. I just don't think this situation is for me. And get out. Do not let anyone degrade you. They are not your friends. They do not care about you, they do not love you. They are individuals that should be avoided. They should be avoided. But I'm glad to see this man's father speak up. Like he mentioned, you have to keep the line of communication open with your children even if they are 19. And as a parent, if you can do this, take your child to the community jiu-jitsu center. They are everywhere. Some classes are expensive. And some are cheap because people are wanting to give back and serve their communities. And by doing so, they can spend time with others their age in a more healthy and monitored environment. But even then, teach your child how to discern. Because even in a place like that, there are people that your son or daughter, or even you, if you are in such a class, that you might want to decline an invite to hang out after class. Put yourself in good situations. And realize and understand when someone is pooping down your back, metaphorically speaking. And sadly in this case if they are doing this to you for real. Because please know, they are doing it on purpose. And there is no excuse, apology or whatever that should allow you to go back for more. I feel so sad this young man wanted friends so bad, that he let people superglue him. And put engine grease all over him. And he thought these were just his friends having fun. And by thinking that way, and going back, he got put in even a more worse situation. And he almost lost his life because of it. Just like that woman that brought her so-called friends to Mexico. And I will have to revisit that case again, as I'm curious as to what is happening. And again, if I were a betting cartoon man. But I'm not. But if I were, I would bet that woman that had her life cut short had to deal with slick comments here and there from these very people that pretended to be her friend. And she just probably hoped these slick comments were just a mistake. That maybe they were just having a bad day. Or maybe she's just seeing things wrong. Or maybe they are right. And second-guessed herself. And thought she was just being too sensitive. People, these sick entities eventually show who they are. And when they show themselves, believe it. If someone has been treating you like their best friend, and out of nowhere they say something degrading or they do something that could cause you emotional or physical harm, cut them out of your life. They aren't your friend. Ask yourself, when was the last time you did that to someone, let alone someone you care about? Right. You're not doing such things. So why are they? They are doing such things because they like it. It's that simple. And what that means for you is that your entire relationship with this person was and is a lie. I remember thinking about this one so-called friend I had growing up. And thinking about an instance that happened to me as a teenager when I heard about the woman being attacked by her so-called friends in Mexico. And how a so-called friend I now believed lured me to a spot where other people he knew would jump me and attack me for literally no reason at all. But there was a reason. This guy had some envious feelings towards me. Though at the time I couldn't understand why that would be. And also because he was sadistic. How do you do that? Lure your so-called best friends somewhere. To where 7 or 8 people jump them. And kick and punch and beat the heck out of. Well, they can do such things if they are driven by evil. Just like the so-called friends that caused trauma to this young man. And here's the thing. Even after I was jumped, I continued being friends with this guy. Because at the time I refused to believe he had anything to do with it. But many years ago, I realized who and what he was. Right around the time I realized who and what my ex Susie was and is. And I never spoke to this guy ever again. There was no goodbye. No nothing. I think he realized I could see through him. And he could no longer poop down my back, metaphorically speaking, anymore. And I was no longer of interest to him because of that. Because to him, that's all I was good for. Do not let anyone degrade you. Because it will almost always lead to narcissistic abuse, no matter it be emotional, physical, or both. Be safe. Discern. And pray. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.